What we do here is go back.
Today's video is sponsored by W Jitterless Energy Blend, formulated to give you the focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Neurofactor, with more than 10 different flavors to enjoy and start your day strong. Are you ready to try W? Visit W.GG today and use promo code ARROWWAN to save 10% on your purchase today. And welcome, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Tune In Live on this Monday, April 1st. Oh my God, no, this is not an April Fool. Yes, I am live today. I could have been live a little bit earlier, but I had things going on. I got up a little later. I was doing some stuff around the house and such. So it was kind of a little bit hectic today, I would say. But welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Hope this microphone is not picking up too much feedback here. Okay. So before we get into today's show, guys, go ahead and talk about our sponsor real quick, W Energy Blend. As you already heard the promo for it. So yeah, if you visit w.gg, if you want to check out their products, if you want to buy any of their products, if you are into drinking energy drinks or trying out different energy drinks, this one is promoted and sponsored by gamers. So if you guys want to check it out, go to w.gg, check out their merchandise there. If you guys want to make a purchase, feel free to do so. Use promo code ARROWWAN and you guys will save 10% on all the products there. Also, if you guys want to pick up and pay for any of our merchandise, our merch store is right down below in the description section and all. You guys can go there, purchase anything you guys want. Landis, what's going on? Damn, I always thought you said fuck it, you weren't going live. I could have gone live and been like, fuck it, and just ended it. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to visit our merch store, link for that is down below. We have a few shirts, hoodies, mugs, and hats and stuff. I know I've been meaning to add more stuff to the store when I get a little bit more time for that. But if you guys want to buy anything merchandise-wise, feel free to do so. When you go over there, when you make a purchase, use promo code ARROWENT. You guys will save 15% on anything that you purchase over there. So without further ado, let's get to today's show. So yeah, this is it's April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I tell people, when you get online, wherever you go, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, whatever, be careful what you view, be careful what you watch, because April Fool's Day, anybody can make anything up. Yeah, anything is made up. It's April Fool's. Even a lot of these big corporations that say, hey, look, there's a brand new game coming out that we want you to be so excited about. Really? No, April Fool's. It's such a big day that a lot of people like to play pranks on everybody over anything at all. It's so hilarious, but Me, I'm just out of that, you know. Like I like to tell jokes and shit, but you know, pranking wise, that's I can't really get into pranking. I'm not even a good pranker, you know. I tried to do one prank years ago, and somebody got offended by it. You know, I told people I had cancer or some shit. I went real dark with it. I got a dark sense of humor, guys. I got a dark sense of humor. You know, my sense of humor is either dark and twisted or surreal. And you know, I just joke about the certain, you know, smallest things and stuff, and people take offense to that. You know, Psycho and I are triggered. Yeah, that's you guys. I'm not even into that anymore. There, wait. I mean, more power to you guys, but I'm done with all of that. I'm done with that guy. I'm not even part of that situation anymore. But you guys can have fun if you want. That's on you. I'm just done with that. But yeah, so when I talk surreal comedy and shit, now I don't know if any of you guys know who actor Tom Green is. Some of you guys are young. You probably don't remember much or know much about the 90s and all, but you know, actor Tom Green, he's an oddball surreal comedian. He's really an oddball. He has a very surreal, twisted sense of humor. And me growing up in the 90s, like, I didn't pay attention to any of his material until like the 2000s when I was in like high school, you know. You know, Tom Green, he was in some movies like Road Trip, Stealing Harvard, and such. He even had his own show on MTV called The Tom Green Show. You know, it was a hilarious show back in the day, and you had to get the humor. You really had to get it. It was very interesting. It was something else, and I just never really got into it. I watched the movies. I may have watched a couple of the episodes, but other than that, like, just tuning on MTV in a day in the 90s and hearing this.
This is the Tom Green Show. It's not the Green Tom Show. This is my favorite show because it's my show. If this was your show, you'd probably like it more than I did. That's just because it was your show. But it's not your show. It's the Tom Green Show.
Yeah, he was something else back in the day, Tom Green, if anybody's ever watched him. So I was watching this movie last night, and it's one of my favorite movies from him. And he directed it, he wrote it. And I gotta say, like, to a lot of audiences today, it's very odd. Because people don't get that type of sense of humor, or they look at it and they're like, it's not my thing. Some of it's kind of like gross out humor in a sense, you know? And just watching this movie, and I watched it for so many years, and all I could do is just like laugh every time I watch it. Freddy Got Fingered. Freddy Got Fingered. It's one of those surreal movies that he come up with, and it's just the jokes in it. It's got a story, it's got a plot. You know, you got his character. He plays Gordon, whatever his name is. You know, and he is a 27, 28-year-old man living at home with his parents, and he wants to be an aspiring animator. He wants to be an animator. He likes to draw. He does, you know, animations and such. And his father, played by Rip Torn, who passed away in 2019, you know, he is one of those old school, hardworking guys who's like, son, get out, get your ass a job, or get the fuck out of my house kind of thing, you know. But the clashing between Rip Torn's character and Tom Green's character in the movie is so fucking hilarious, you know, because, you know, this character, Gordon, he goes out to Hollywood, well, not Hollywood, somewhere down in Hollywood, or, you know, down in California. He drives down there, and he wants to be an aspiring animator. You know, he wants to get the attention of this guy who could possibly turn his cartoons, his animations into a cartoon show, while, you know, taking a job at a cheese factory where they make sandwiches, you know. But then when when the guy turns him down and tells him that he's not going to turn this thing into a cartoon, but gives him some ideas, you know, like some advice and shit, So he returns back home, and he tells his parents, it didn't work out and all, so I'm going to, get a job back here, do this and that. But just like so, all these antics go on in this movie. It's like you literally have to watch this movie. It's just so outrageous. Like, while this story is taking place, and this whole story's taking place, and all these fucking things are just going on, left and right, just Tom Green just coming out and just doing random things, like he could be driving down the road. It could be one of those things where it's kind of like sort of like a montage or something where he's like, hey, he's transitioning from one state to another, he's on his way to the big leagues, he's driving down the road, but then he screams and he slams on the brakes, and he sees these farmers on the side of the road getting ready to I think they were getting ready to breed a couple horses and shit. And he's sitting there watching it, and then all of a sudden the camera zooms in on his big horse cock. And he gets out of the car, he's like, oh! So he runs over, and they're all like, what the hell are you doing? He grabs a horse's dick, and he starts wiggling, and he's like, I'm a farmer, Daddy! Look, Daddy, I'm a farmer! I'm a farmer, Daddy! It's just so hilarious. And people will be watching and be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And it's just like, this is the kind of humor that I like, It's like, it's not slapstick. It's not like, you go and see a comedian on stage or something like that. You never heard of him. I enjoy George Carlin, Bill Day. Yeah, see, all of those guys, they're all stand-up comedians and all, but, Tom Green, he's an actor. He's just a comedic actor. A TV show and movies and such. So this one scene here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably heard of this scene. It's just so hilarious in the movie.
What in the name of sweet breakfast meat you doing?
For your information, this is me being creative. Betty told me this is what I need to do in order to become an artist.
Oh yeah, is it working?
I don't know. I can't think of anything to draw because I'm so stupid.
I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm 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 stupid.
Hey, this is kind of funny, Gore.
Stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, maybe you can't see it because he's your dad, but he's a character, your dad.
He is?
Yeah.
He's a character? Oh, shit, it's your dad. He's a real character. He's a real character.
He's a real character.
He's a real character. Sausage.
Oh, look, honey, our boy's a genius.
Sausage.
He's rigged a pulley system so he can eat sausage and work on his stupid drawings.
I'm being creative. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have some work to do.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage? Sausages, sausages.
Now you just get outside and you just cool off.
If this were Pakistan, you would have been sewing soccer balls when you were 4 years old.
You would have to, Louis C.K., I heard of him too. Yeah, you would have to watch that scene to know, like, he's got all these sausages strung up on string attached to his hands, and he's sitting there trying to, just like be artistic, it's like he has writer's block, but he can't think of anything to draw, so he tries to take inspiration for something. So he's just sitting there playing a keyboard, while eating sausage at the same time. It's just so fucking hilarious. Even Rip Torrens, when he says if it were Pakistan, you'd be sewing soccer balls when you were 4 years old. And there's an actual scene in the end where the character Gordon, he actually does sell his animations to this guy finally, and he writes him a check for $1 million and shit. So after a little bit of frivolous spending, he spends $750,000 to this crew to saw off half of his house and put his dad to sleep for like a week, and then they moved this portion of the house to Pakistan on this big ass fucking truck. And guy wakes up, he's like, "Where the hell am I?" He's like, "We're in Pakistan, Daddy." Would you like to go sew some soccer balls? But yeah, if you guys are able to find that movie, Freddy Got Fingered, it's hilarious. And there's an actual part in the movie where it definitely does reference the title. It's very briefly. It's a very small subplot in the movie, but it's hilarious. I will say, like, I tried to show an old coworker of mine. She was, at the time, she was like 20 something. This was like, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that. She was like 22, 23, and she's never heard of them. And I'm starting to show her scenes from the movie. She was like, "Yeah, that's not my style." She's like, I was like, "Yeah, not too many people are into it." It's just, you have to be in that type of comedy, you know, into that style of comedy to understand it. And if it's your style of comedy, you know, like Tom Green, he's very interesting, you know, when it comes to, he wrote and directed the movie. And they said, "Oh shit!" They say that that's one of the worst fucking movies of all time, right? It's got a Rotten Tomatoes ranking of 10% on it, and it won like 5 Razzies at the awards. But you know what? It's gained a cult following. That movie's gained a cult following over the years. People love it. They love the fuck out of that movie. It's just absolutely hilarious. You know, I love that movie. Another one I love is Stealing Harvard, with him and Jason Lee, and he plays Jason Lee's buddy, who's he's a landscaper, and Jason Lee's character, his niece is going to college, is getting ready to go to college, but then he realizes he made a promise that he was going to pay for his niece's college tuition, and he doesn't have the money for it, so him and his buddy, Tom Green's character's name's Duff, so him and Duff try to come up with all these different ways of how they can come up with the money to pay for the tuition. And one of the ways is they try to rob a convenience store and everything just goes south and shit. It's just so hilarious. You guys got to watch it. Another good one was Road Trip. He was in Road Trip. Road Trip was another good movie. You know, there's quite a few movies that he was in back in the 2000s that were good. He was even married to Drew Barrymore back in 2002, I think it was 2001, 2002. I can't remember, but he was married to Drew Barrymore for a year. They actually starred in the movie Charlie's Angels. He had a brief part in Charlie's Angels, and I think it's around the time when him and Drew Barrymore started dating and then got married. Even Drew Barrymore had a small part in Freddy Got Fingered, which is that's another hilarious moment, you know, where he comes across her and shit. But yeah, it was just that type of movie I can get with. But then when you look at some of the comedies today, it's like tongue-in-cheek for me. Like, sometimes they try to go the limit or try to see how much they can make an audience laugh, but it doesn't really work out. Take, for example, okay, if you guys follow us on Twitter, and I posted that Saturday night, my family and I, we went out to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That just came out. Now, I've watched Afterlife. Afterlife was a good entry. You know, it was a good sequel. I want to say, about 20 years, about 30 years since the original. You know, 30 odd years since since part 2. Have you ever seen Fist Fight with Charlie Day? I think I've heard of it, but I've never seen that one. I've seen a few movies with Ice Cube. He's a pretty good actor too. But yeah, Afterlife, Ghostbusters Afterlife came like a little over 30 years after Ghostbusters 2, and it gave a proper death to Egon, Harold Ramis's character, because Harold Ramis passed away in 2014. God, it's been just over 10 years since Harold Ramis passed away. Yeah, he was a comedic genius back in the 80s and 90s. You know, he did a lot of good movies. He directed a lot of good movies. He gave us Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. You know, that was it was a comedy classic, comedy romance classic with Bill Murray. You know, but You know, they gave a proper send off to Harold Ramis and Egon in that movie, and it was very good, especially when they have most, you know, the original Ghostbusters in there minus Egon. You know, even if it's toward the end or whatever, but still, it was a really good movie. It was a good entry. And I tell people, stay away from the 2016 female reboot, because I feel like that has nothing to do with the original Ghostbusters. It was just them trying to go SJW or whatever and say, well, we need an all-female cast. I'm like, well, yeah, fuck that. You're not going to shit on a franchise, you know, with, you know, this SJW woke bullshit. So, you know, even though they say it got good ratings or whatever, I'm like, yeah, still not going to watch it. So I tell people avoid 2016, but Afterlife was good. And then the newest one, Frozen Empire, just came out. Now, I know a lot of you guys, you want to see it, but then you see people posting these IGN ratings of, oh, it's not that great, it fails, it misses the mark, da da da. I don't go by what critics say. All right, critics like IGN and all these dumb fucking websites that, you know, do movie reviews, they don't know what a fucking good movie is. I don't even really think they even watch the movie to even give it a review. Yeah, people, you know, Hangover, you know, my fiance, she loves the Hangover movies. I haven't seen any of them yet, but yeah, to each their own, you know. Yeah, everybody loves the Hangover trilogy. You know, my fiance, she's watched it. Actually, she just watched Ricky Stadicki, I think it's called. It was on Amazon Prime, I think it was. It's got John Cena in it. And it's like, yeah, John Cena's moving from the PG era to the R-rated movie. So, yeah, he's in the movie, and it's very R-rated. You know, a lot of sexual references and jokes in there. And it's like, damn, John Cena's going X-rated now, you know? But, yeah, with Frozen Empire, I tell people do not go by what you read on the internet when it comes to reviews, when it comes to critics. Go see it for yourself. If you want to see it, go see it. This was a really fun movie, and I really enjoyed it. And I will tell you a couple things, you know, that kind of got my grade on it down a little bit. Is, for one, I felt the movie could have been a little bit longer. It definitely could have been a little bit longer, in my opinion, because it felt like, even with this new threat that they introduced, you know, this new threat that they brought in, and it was fresh. You know, you don't have no Gozer, you don't have no Zool or anything like that. It's something new and fresh. Kind of like with Ghostbusters 2, you know, when they had the painting, you know, Vigo in the painting, that kind of thing, that was fresh. This one's fresh and new. It's some god, you know, some frozen god from like centuries ago, you know, that was trapped in this it's like a ball. It's a ball. It's like a puzzle ball that you solve. It's like a tomb for like the high powered spirits, you know, like spirit gods or whatever. And it just happens to come into possession of Ray Stantz, who of course still has the bookshop, which he opened up in Ghostbusters 2. But now it's like, you know, him with one of the other kids of the family who's a Ghostbuster, you know, is holding a podcast and such on cursed objects and shit. So you do got a little bit more of Dan Aykroyd's acting in this. You know, he's a little bit more over eccentric or eclectic or whatever the word is for it. You know, he's a little bit more lively in this movie. Dan Aykroyd is, and I feel like he's just like a giddy little kid, you know, because he's like, this is what he loves to do. He loves to investigate spirits, and he loves to bust ghosts and shit, you know? Just like in real life. Okay, in real life, Dan Aykroyd, he is into the paranormal. He's even stated that he's a vehicle guy. He's into classic cars and shit. He loves vehicles. That's his life. Just like he, you know, he's into spirits. You know, he's into the paranormal and shit. You know, he's into that kind of stuff. That's his thing. So that's all good for him. And he brings that into Ghostbusters. You know, he's so excited. He doesn't want to get, you know, he doesn't want to hang up the old Ghostbuster suit, you know. And then of course you got Winston Zeddemore, played by Ernie Hudson. You know, he's kind of like the president sort of Ghostbusters. You know, he's like the top tier guy now. He runs everything. They got a whole new lab, somewhere else that's not, it's apart from the firehouse and shit. And they got new vehicles in there. Ray's got a bike called the Ecto C, I think it is. And it's a bike, and it's got a little carriage on the side, and it has its own portable trap and accelerator. They like the proton pack. It's got its own little proton pack attachment to it. And then of course, Winston, the whole team there, they got their van. They got upgraded proton packs and shit. So there's a lot of new stuff in there, to really spiff it up a little bit, but keep it, original in a sense. And then of course, what's his name? I forgot the actor's name. He played Walter Peck, the asshole from the original Ghostbusters. He's in this movie too. He's actually the mayor of New York now. So he's just like with the original movie. He's out to get the Ghostbusters. He's out to shut them down for whatever reason, and he tries to find that reason to really shut them down for good, that kind of thing. So that's his thing in the movie, But there is a lot of throwbacks in this movie. You got a lot of different classic scenes from the original that's like a throwback to it. Annie Potts returns as Janie, but she dons the suit as well at one point. And a classic throwback. Yes, Slimer is in this movie. If you're a big Slimer fan, yes, Slimer is in this movie in full glory. And it's hilarious with his interactions. It's very fucking hilarious. And even Bill Murray, Bill Murray's in it. He's in a couple scenes. He's just as comedic as always. But I feel like with Bill Murray, he doesn't like doing these movies, I guess, but he does them anyway. But it's like a character, an actor of his stature, you would think that he would love to be part of this franchise still, because he's one of those likable characters. Peter Venkman, he's one of those likable characters. But I think a lot of more people, either when it comes to who's your favorite Ghostbuster, a lot of people, like somebody from like me, I'm in between Winston and Egon. Like Winston is more down to earth. Especially, in the first one where he's telling the mayor, I have seen some shit that'll turn you white. He's more down to earth. He's a little bit more like, not out there like they are, but he's just more contained. He's like, yeah, let me tell you, I've seen some shit. He's that kind of person. Especially with the character Egon. God rest Harold Ramis, but his character was just... He was just one of those that you can get with. It was very comical. He was very subtle about a lot of stuff that he was, he was always talking about in the movie. He was just something else. Venkman, he was like the sex fiend, sort of, trying to get with Dana in the movies, the original. But it is what it is, And then you got Ray Stantz, he's really excited. He's really big into ghost busting and ghost hunting. It's his hobby. It's what he does. He loves doing it. But also, sadly, of course, Sigourney Weaver, she did not reprise her role once again. I know she was in a post-credit scene in Afterlife where she was sitting there with Bill Murray. But other than that, she didn't return for this one. And, of course, Rick Moranis, Rick Moranis is actually starting to get back into acting. He's actually supposed to be a cameo character or somebody on the show The Goldbergs, if you guys watch that. But yeah, Rick Moranis, he has been absent from, the movie scene for so long, ever since his wife passed away and he was raising his kids, on his own. So he definitely sacrificed acting to take care of his family, and that's respectable. He is I respect that man. Rick Moranis, he was an amazing actor. He still is. So, right now I assume his kids are all grown up and he can now get back onto, if he wants to get back into acting and shit. But I will say, like, two things with this movie, though. Like I said, the first one was the movie could have been a little bit longer, because it's like they take about an hour and so to explain what this thing is, this new type of energy, this ball. And there's like so many things going on all at once. It's like you got this great big team of Ghostbusters. One of them is the Spangler family. And of course, Paul Rudd's in there. He's a stepdad to Egon's granddaughter. You know, he's married or engaged to her mom, Egon's daughter. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different subplots going on that you're trying to piece all together, where they're trying to figure out this and this and that. And then something happens, and then everybody finally comes together when this thing happens. And when this creature is unleashed, the spirit is unleashed, I was expecting it to last a little bit more longer than what it has. But, you know, I guess they didn't want to drag it out too much, make it like a 2.5 hour movie, which is understandable, you know. But I did expect a little bit more out of it. But I guess sometimes short is better, you know, shorter is better, you know, not a whole lot going on. So that was one thing for me. I felt it was a little bit short in length, you know, to do. Well, it did a lot more explaining. And then when it came to the actual thing that was going on, there wasn't a whole lot to it, but you know, it was good enough for what it was. The second thing that kind of got under my skin a little bit was Paul Rudd. Now, I like him in the Ant-Man movies. You know, if you're a Marvel fan, he's Ant-Man. You know, he was decent in there. There's some movies that he was in that I did enjoy him in, even if he was annoying. You know, his first role, Paul Rudd's first role was Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. He played Tommy Doyle. If you guys ever seen that, you know, that was Paul Rudd's first acting experience right there. But right now, you know, he's more of a comedic actor, and he over exaggerates it in this movie. He doesn't do as much in Afterlife as he does in this one. This one is a little too much. He really pushes the envelope with the comedy in this movie, and I feel like that was kind of a little bit of a letdown. That was kind of a drag on his end right there. You know, for the audience, you know, because I'm like, okay, he's the comedic relief. You know, he's the comedic relief of the movie, but he goes a little bit too far. And I compare him to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, when he had his role in Doom back in 2004. When you got a character that's the star of a movie, and they just put too much effort into their acting in the movie, too much. It doesn't go a long way. It can actually kill it. It can kill it for some people. Like for me, I enjoyed the movie Doom. I thought it was a fun movie. I liked it for what it was. But Dwayne Johnson was a little too much for me. Just like with this new Ghostbuster movie, Paul Rudd was a little too much for me. He was tolerable, but after a while, it makes you kind of cringe, and you're like, God, just shut up. Just shut up. But other than that, the movie was pretty fun. It was very enjoyable. There was a lot of throwbacks. There was a lot of Easter eggs with this movie. It was definitely a lot of fun. You know, Bill Murray, you know, his jokes were, they were there. You know, I really enjoyed it. And I will say, if you guys want to see this movie, make sure you watch Ghostbusters Afterlife first to get a grip on who the new Ghostbusters are, the family and all, who takes over the business, before going into this movie. You guys would definitely enjoy it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I give the movie an 8 out of 10. I really did enjoy it. You know, just like I said earlier about the movie Freddy Got Fingered, you know, 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't give a shit about RottenTomatoes.com. You know, if I watch a movie and I like it, if I personally like it for what it is, then so be it. That's my opinion. The Super Mario Brothers, you know, the original Super Mario Brothers movie, the one that came out in 93, one of the worst movies of all time, they said, right? You know, Bob Hoskins, Dennis Hopper, John Leguizamo. I liked it for what it was, because I grew up on it. I grew up on that movie. That was one of my favorite movies right there. Yes, yeah, they had a lot of issues with filming it and shit, from what I understand, yeah. But other than that, I enjoyed it for what it was. And I feel that's what people should do. If you find a movie that you like, that you really enjoy, and it's just so much, just make that your favorite movie. Who gives a shit about what anybody else says about it, you know? But yeah, the new Ghostbusters, if you guys have yet to see it, go see it. Yeah, go check it out. It's a very fun movie. Definitely a worthy entry in the franchise, you know? And I tell people, Stay away from that 2016 female reboot. It's not worth it. So I rambled on a little bit about the movies and shit. You know, I figure I'd get you guys into that and all. So why don't we go ahead and take a quick break? And when we come back, we're going to talk about something about yesterday that got a lot of Christians pissed off, but they still celebrated Easter. So hang tight. We will be right back.
My friend's lashes are so long, she'd always complain they kept hitting her glasses. Poor thing. Mine were so skimpy, I needed a microscope to find them.
Clarion introduces a first, personalized mascara.
The Clarion computer helped me find a new mascara made just for lashes like mine.
Because different lash types need different mascaras, Clarion has 4 unique formulas, each with its own customized brush. One is perfect for you.
Now for the real test. Oops. Won't hear me complaining.
The waters of the lake at Dunlow run so pure, deep, and cool. Legend says, just dangling your feet in it keeps you feeling fresh and clean for the rest of your days. There's a bit of this in every bar of Irish Spring. The lasting, fresh scent of Irish Spring deodorant soap. The Irish never quit.
So you just marched into the store? I didn't march. I strolled. And you just what? Well, did it? No. I stood there looking at it for a while. Yeah? And I thought, you can do this. You are going to do this. Aren't you? So I did. That's not like you, Ellen. I know.
When you really want to treat yourself, nothing makes you feel as good as gold.
This 20-inch TV is a good deal.
It's a great deal because it has RCA color, stereo sound, channel lock remote. Buy it, you won't be sorry.
Told you it was a terrific deal.
Well, did the doctor say you need surgery?
No, he said my hemorrhoids aren't that serious. And to use Preparation H.
You can often relieve pain and itch for hours and help shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues with Preparation H in ointment and suppositories.
What do we want? I wonder when it's on. This is American Woman. Every Wednesday night is world premiere movie night on Wednesday night. World premiere movie night on USA. On USA.
Gina lost her little girl.
Your daughter, Katie, is dead.
Or did she? The Look-alike. Wednesday at 9, 8 Central.
And we're back, guys. If you guys missed the first part of it, that's alright. Show will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. Hit that like and subscribe button down below if you guys want to check this out later on. If you guys are watching us on Twitch or on Kick, be sure to hit that follow button down below, and you guys can check us out on YouTube. Channel Arrow Entertainment. Link should be down below in the follow section. You guys come on over and check it out. So yesterday was a big glory fuckfest. Okay, and I'm not talking about the holiday, you know, Easter. Let me tell you all something about Easter. Okay, there's a lot of things that go on with Easter, but what is the biggest thing that a lot of people celebrate Easter for? It's not about sending your kid, you know, giving your kids a basket of Easter eggs and candy and shit and money and stuff like that. It's not about that, you know. I mean, it's, even though like at Christmas time, you know, your kids, they celebrate Christmas with Christmas gifts and gift cards and stuff like that, and you decorate, you know, the house with Christmas lights, bright lights and shit. You know, it's understandable. But the meaning of the holidays, Christmas and Easter. Now, whether you guys are Christian, Catholic, whether you're atheist or don't believe or agnostic or whatever, you know, the holy tale is Jesus was born, and they picked December 25th, Christmas, as the day that Christ was born. Now, nobody knows when Jesus Christ was born. Nobody knows. There's not an exact date, you know. I think it doesn't even really say in the Bible. But from what I understand, it's nowhere near December. It's nowhere near the winter season, you know. It's nowhere near what they call the solstice season. That's what they call it. But Jesus was born, and we celebrate the birth of Christ at Christmas time, which is titled Christmas time, you know, December 25th, you know. And a lot of people celebrate, you know, they go to church, you know, they celebrate the Lord, you know, who was born. But then there's Easter, right? Easter is the celebration of the crucifixion of Christ, who has died for our sins. This is a man who was tortured, beaten by the Jewish. He was crucified on a cross. He died for us on the cross. He was placed in a cave. 3 days later, he risen. That's how the story goes, you know? Well, I mean, depending on what your beliefs are in Jesus Christ and, you know, in God and all. So, Easter, we celebrate the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ. You know, the man who has died for all of us, who has died for our sins. That's what we celebrate. That's why Easter is such a big thing that we celebrate. Now, once again, I'm pretty sure we don't know what day he was crucified on or what day he was resurrected on, but usually it's a random Sunday in April. It's usually a random Sunday in April. Could be the first Sunday in April, could be the last Sunday in April. But you guys got to figure, it's like, okay, April is, you know, Easter is every year. It's usually in April, right? Easter is always in April. It's always on a Sunday. That's when we celebrate it. Well, this year it happened to take place March 31st, yesterday. Because this is a leap year, guys. It's a leap year. Leap year, you know, you got one extra day, and, you know, it's just a bunch of extra bullshit. That's pretty much why we celebrated Easter yesterday, March 31st, instead of April. So if you go into April and you're like, where's Easter at? Oh, we just celebrated Easter. But not only that, now we got this piece of shit tyrant, bastard, stupid, motherfucking, evil, democratic piece of fucking donkey shit, who proclaimed yesterday, Easter Sunday, as Transgender Day of Visibility. Tell me this doesn't piss you guys the fuck off. And you guys already know my feelings about the whole transgender thing. You know, you all know how I feel about this shit. It's ridiculous. Am I homophobic? Do I have a thing against gays? No. If you're gay, that's your business. That's your lifestyle. That is you. I'm not against who you are. I'm not against your feelings. If you like another man, or if you like another woman, no matter what your sex is, that's your business. I don't give a fuck. Will I still talk with you? Will I still interact with you? Of course. We're human fucking beings. But when I look at the whole transgenderism and shit, and I know transgender is it's a term, you know, that you know means, well, it has different meanings to it, you know. Transgender, the whole word it's been around for God knows how long. You know, you got women who are born with both sex organs. You got women who are born with peckers and shit like that. You know, hermaphrodites or transsexuals. You know, all that shit. You know, nowadays it has become a thing where it's like a fad. The whole transgender thing, it has become such a disgusting fucking fad. You got these ass-hurt men who feel like, oh, I amount to nothing. Maybe I'll get somewhere if I change and be a woman, you know, that kind of thing. You know, you got men that are out there whacking off their willies, dressing up as women, putting on fucking wigs and shit, and playing the goddamn part. Same thing with women. They're sitting there like, well, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like a woman. I feel like a man. What do? They have the surgery to have the fucking dick attached. They cut their fucking tits off and shit. And then you know what? A vast majority of these fucking women regret it later on in life. I have seen videos of women who have confronted people part of that group and told them, you're not going to get that lifestyle back. When you change, that's it, you're done. And a lot of those women feel that regret when they change their parts, when they mutilate their bodies the way they do. It's sad. It's sad and it's sickening. It's sad that, you know, people, when they sit there and say, you know, for women, I feel like a man. For men, I feel like a woman. Okay. Why men dress in drag? They don't go whacking their fucking willies off and shit. They dress in drag. I know a guy who lives down in North Carolina, actually. He was actually up here. He lived up here in the Brooklyn Park, Glen Burnie area. His name was Dale. I've known him for years. He's a gay guy. He's gay, you know, but he's harmless. He's a pretty good guy. He is. And this is a guy who went through so much, and I covered this on an episode, I think, of URC with Tom. We were talking about him. This guy, he's went through so much in his life growing up. You know, he was abused. He was sexually molested by family and strangers and stuff. He was admitted to mental hospitals for years. And he has nightmares about this shit. It happens, you know, when you go through something like this in your life, it's traumatizing, and he's a very traumatized person. So how does he escape that traumatization? How does he escape that mentally? He dresses up in drag. He puts a wig on. He puts on the women's shit. You know, he puts on, you know, underwear, the women's underwear, thongs and stuff. He puts on the fake breasts underneath the bra and all. And you know what? This guy goes out in public with a boombox, and he dances around. He'll go to the medians, he'll pull into like little areas where they got stores and stuff, and people love him. They all come up to him and take pictures and join him and shit. He'll put some music on. He usually does like Madonna, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Kesha, or any of that music, and he dances. He dances. I will tell you, for a gay guy, he has some very good choreography. Like, he learns all these dances. It's like watching this male stripper. That's what he's like, watching a male stripper on the street. Now, is it something that I would want my children to watch? No, because his act is very risque. This is a gay man dressed in like bare minimum clothes as a woman, dancing erotically out in the street. Do I want my kids to look at that? No. When they're a little bit older, then they can watch, you know? But, you know, the guy's harmless in that shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, men, if you feel like you're not enough for women, or you feel differently, do something like that. There's nothing wrong with you dressing in drag. I mean, that's you. You do you. If you want to wear a wig and parade around, shit, do you. Why should somebody have to mutilate their body to feel like the opposite sex? Like, why should you push that kind of shit on yourself? Let alone, why would you want to push that shit on children? Which is an even sicker thing. You know, that's the biggest agenda, you know, out of the Biden administration and the woke left. You know, they're trying to push this whole fucking LGBT bullshit agenda on kids. To tell kids, hey, it's okay to do this. I don't want you pushing that shit on my children. Don't be fucking pushing that shit on my children. My children are going to grow up. When they learn for themselves, when they discover who they are and what they are, that's for them to decide. I don't want some fucking government or some fucking idiot organization or whatever to tell my kids what they should and shouldn't do, or how they should and shouldn't dress or feel or be. Like, stay the fuck away from my kids, you know? Today, transgenderism, this whole trans shit, it's all a mental illness. That's all it is. It's fucking mental illness. It's a state of mental illness. It's not a way of life. All right? Biggest example. Look at fucking Ellen Page. Yeah, I know everybody calls her Elliot Page. She's a man now. Yeah. She's a disgusting looking man. She makes a disgusting, like, have any of you seen a picture of Ellen Page lately? Or as everybody calls him, Elliot Page. The abs and shit. short hair. My God. Fucking disgusting. I literally mean it. Fucking, not just my opinion, people. Elliot Page is fucking disgusting. Disgusting looking. Ellen Page, before that whole transition, she was a beautiful fucking woman. A beautiful young woman. She was. There was nothing fucking wrong with her. And then she did this to her body. This is what she has to live with for the rest of her life. It's sad. That is going to take a toll on her mental state, her mental health. It's going to take a toll on her, along with so many others. And then there's Caitlyn Jenner, but I will get back to what... I'll get to something about Caitlyn Jenner in a minute. Let me go ahead and cover this. So, this past Friday, the White House has announced that Transgender Day of Visibility for March 31st that falls this year on Easter Sunday. Now, therefore, I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., he calls himself President of the United States. You ain't no fucking president, you piece of shit. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, there is no constitutional laws about this shit. Do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility. Jesus Christ. Celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, Easter Sunday is the holiest day in the Christian calendar. I call upon all Americans to join us in the uplifting and lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout the nation, and to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. Fuck you, you piece of donkey shit! Fuck Joe Biden. Telling us to join in this lifting up the lives and voices of the transgenders, to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. What fucking violence? Who the hell's going out there and beating these motherfuckers? I would love to beat one of them motherfuckers up, to tell you the truth. The way they act, I would love to give them 5 across the eyes multiple times, the way they fucking act. But their type of violence is mental violence. You know, when you tell a fucking transgender person off, when you tell them that they're wrong about what their agenda is, what they're talking about and all, when you tell them that they're in the wrong, when you put a transgender person in their place, oh, that's violence toward them. They don't agree with that. And then discrimination. Well, let's see. The last few school shootings that we've had, they were all transgender. My fucking God. But you don't want to acknowledge that. You don't want to address that, Führer. You want to talk about eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity? How about the fact that the last few school shootings we had, yes, they're usually white, but they were fucking transgender. Oh my fucking God. What a goddamn coincidence, people. Very fucking shocking. And you want me to join you in the lifting of the lives and voices of them? Fuck you. Since its inception, the Biden administration has made the LGBT activism a cornerstone in its policy platform. Activism cornerstone. Why? That shit's not important in this fucking country. That should never be on any fucking agenda to please these sons of bitches. That should never, ever be a cornerstone on anything. Biden boosted in his statement that he appointed transgender leaders to his administration and ended the ban on transgender Americans serving openly in the military. Oh yeah, let's bring them all in. Yeah, let them fight in the fucking the wars across the seas. You know what's going to happen? They're all going to turn around and run for the fucking hills. They're not going to fight for this country. You're going to put some transgender motherfuckers in fucking uniforms and send them across the seas to fight in these wars? They ain't gonna do shit. They're gonna fucking shoot themselves in the foot to stay home. That's what's gonna happen. In the past, some of Biden's transgender inclusivity events at the White House have backfired. A transgender influencer was banned from the White House in June 2023 for posing topless at Biden's Pride celebration. Rose Montoya, who exposed his bare prosthetic breasts to the camera and onlookers at the official event, violated basic standards of decency and social manners, a spokesperson for the White House told the New York Post at the time. Yes, I remember that. I remembered that he did something that disgusting. I did remember that. That is something else. So all these transgender motherfuckers, these mentally ill sons of bitches, they think it's perfectly right to bare your entire naked body to kids on the street. You know what they call that? Pedophilia. What you got over here, Hoyt? Did I know that Emily Saxon moron who blocked was Jesse? Yeah, I know who Emily Saxon is. Yeah, it was Jeff Saxon. I know all about Jeff Saxton. I know all about him. He was a cameraman at one point after he fired what was his name? He called himself Corn. Yeah, I know him. Goes by Emily Saxon, that fucking thing. Actually, that thing blocked me on Twitter. That was so fucking hilarious. It blocked me on Twitter. I forgot what I said to it back in the day. I was getting ready to comment on something of it, and I went to its page and it had me blocked. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, I know all about that thing. Disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. You know, it's like, I want to be a woman. Okay. I wonder if it got its pecker cut off. This year, children of the National Guard were also barred from sending in religious Easter egg designs for the Celebrating National Guard Families Art event at the White House. According to a flyer obtained by the First Liberty, the White House hosts many Easter traditions, including the Military Family Art Initiative and annual Easter egg. So let me get this straight. These motherfuckers barred what is a tradition. The children of the National Guard. They were barred from sending in Easter egg designs for Celebrating National Guard Families art event at the White House. So, celebrating these mentally ill, retarded fucks who call themselves the opposite sex, transgender Day of Visibility. You rather host that? You'd rather promote that than something that's traditional that involves the National Guard and children? Fucking sickening, people. This is what these Democratic motherfuckers and all these other retards in this country voted into the fucking White House. Fucking disgusting. And then he tried to cancel Jesse in 2022. We tried. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because Jesse said something transphobic or something, and like, you know what? I agree with Jesse Ridgway on that. Fuck Emily Saxon. Fuck that bitch. Easter egg submissions must not include any questionable content, religious symbols, overtly religious themes, or partisan political statements. You know, I'm done with this article. I'm fucking done with this. I truly am. I'm sorry. If you guys want to read this, it's going to be in our Discord. Tune in live scraps. I can't read that anymore. It's disgusting. This truly fucking disgusts me. That the White House, for as long as it's been a thing, you got this goddamn tyrant who's telling people, no, we do not want anything of religion here anymore. We don't want to celebrate religion. We don't want to celebrate any of that. We're all about celebrating mental illness. Well, I call it mental. It is a mental illness, but we want to celebrate Transgender Day of Visibility. We don't want any fucking Easter eggs. We don't want your religious shit. Well, fuck you, asshole. How many people yesterday celebrated Trans Day of Visibility, huh? How many people celebrate it? I guarantee you 99% of the fucking country did not celebrate it. And speaking of transgenders, I have full respect for Caitlyn Jenner. Yes, it's Bruce Jenner, who used to be, big into sports back in the day. Big old Bruce Jenner. Ooh, he turned himself into a woman. But I gotta say, I have respect for Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, whatever. Slammed Biden for celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility on Easter. Caitlyn Jenner bashed Biden for issuing a proclamation on the Transgender Day of Visibility when it was coincided with Easter this year. The transgender celebrity accused the president of conflating the Christian holiday with the long-standing day of support for transgender individuals, which Jenner herself has previously celebrated. I am absolutely disgusted that Joe Biden has declared the most holy of holy days, a self-proclaimed devout Catholic, as a transgender day of visibility. The only thing that they should be declaring on this day is he is risen. Jenner, a staunch conservative who came out as transgender woman in 2015, quickly gained backlash for her commentary online, with many noting that the holiday, intended to show support for the transgender community, has been held on March 31st ever since. Hold the fuck up! Hold the fuck up! I know that's gotta be a goddamn lie. Hold the fuck up. Transgender Day of Visibility. Okay, how long has not trains, they might as well be trains, Transgender Day, can't fucking spell, of Visibility been around? That's gotta be a fucking lie. Okay, so Trans Day of Visibility began 15 years ago. The founder is still moved by its success. Ew. So what day is it on? The only holiday that she knew was geared toward Transgender Day of Remembrance on November 20th. Okay, so you got, okay, now, oh, here we go. That idea turned into International Transgender Day of Visibility, which falls on March 31st every year. So apparently for the, I'm going to put this also in the Tune In Live Scraps, guys, if you guys want to read that. So where was that again? That turned into International, which falls on every year. Crandall Crocker. Don't know who the fuck you are. So apparently, okay, I thought it was all bullshit. It sounded like complete bullshit to me. So apparently, Transgender Day of Visibility isn't brand new. It's been around for the last 15 years. And it's always been on March 31st. So then you got brain dead Biden who's sitting there, we are proclaiming this day as Transgender Day, when it's already been International Transgender Day. So Biden, he must have had a seizure. He must have had a fucking brain dead seizure when he came up with that, because he probably thinks he's doing the world something good. He's like, I'm declaring this day. I'm pulling responsibility. I'm the one responsible for it. No, the fuck you ain't, motherfucker. No, you ain't. Apparently, it's been around. Jenner may be anti-Biden, but to me, still started most of the shit show. Transgender's been around for years before even Caitlyn Jenner. Let's see. Well, seeing as how far it go for 9 years, Easter changes every year. You're reactionary, trying to get support for drifting. Critics also noted that Jenner previously posted an image of herself celebrating Trans Day of Visibility, including in 2017. This you? A commentator wrote, sharing a post that Jenner had made in 2017 captured Trans Day of Visibility. There's no better visibility than with the sisters on my side. Critics are targeting Biden for issuing statements about Transgender Day of Visibility and claiming that the statement is at odds with Christians celebrating the resurrection of Christ on the same day of the year. I call upon Americans. I'm not even gonna fucking read that again. That was fucking a disgusting goddamn fucking thing to even say for that motherfucker. Oh, I thought. Oh, you're not even in. See, I don't have a problem with gay people, but I'll never support the transgender bullshit. I was gonna say, type in the chat there, Colton. I thought you were. I would have thought you'd been in the chat, man. But I see your comment over there. If you're listening in, I would have thought you would have been here, man. Yeah, you don't have a problem with gay people. I don't support the transgender bullshit. Yeah, I don't support it either, man. I really don't. Yeah, it's gone insane since 2015. It has. It really fucking has. I will say, like, I do respect Caitlyn, Bruce, whatever. I still call him Bruce. I still, show respect for Bruce Jenner for what she said about Biden. Yeah, I would bash Biden too for that. Like, okay, the day has apparently always been Transgender Day of Visibility since 2009. 15 fucking years. Okay, big whoop-de-fucking-do. So then you got Biden who decides he wants to piss people off on the holiest of holy days and say, I'm proclaiming this day in the name of the transgenders. Yeah, I proclaim it the day of the motherfucking trees, motherfucker. I proclaim it in the name of the trees. Jesus Christ. So yeah, Biden's trying to claim responsibility for making a Transgender Day of Visibility when it's already been a goddamn thing. Christ. And of course, like I said, Easter just happened to fall on March 31st, which was yesterday, a Sunday, because it's a leap year. But, Easter, it falls on either Sunday, within April usually. So I don't even understand why it had to fall on March 31st. Maybe it was a plot by the government. Maybe this was a ploy by the government from the beginning when they saw, you know what? March 31st falls on a Sunday. Let's make next year Easter on that Sunday. And they give the reason, oh, it's leap year. Why? Why would you put Easter Sunday on a day that celebrates mental illness? Why? For as far as I remember, Easter Sunday was always in fucking April. I don't remember a Sunday in March being Easter. I don't. South Park was the reason I know the Jenner dude. Yeah, I knew about Bruce Jenner. When I heard that whole story about him getting a sex change and all, I was like, who the fuck would do that shit to themselves? I think it's disgusting. Really, you want to mutilate your body, you got to live with that for the rest of your life. It's just a state of fucking mind. Back in my day, let me tell you guys something. Back in my day, if women felt like boys, in some way, they used to call them tomboys. Remember? You used to act like tomboys. You were never into girly things, that were for girls. You were never into that stuff. You were into what the boys did, Perfectly fucking normal. There was girls in high school who wore baggy shirts and baggy pants. They wanted to be like one of the boys. Did they talk about cutting their tits off and growing a dick? No, of course the fuck not. You call them tomboys, I once had a friend back in elementary school. See, South Park is the reason I know oh yeah, I think I already read that. Back in elementary school, I had a friend. His name was Brian Boyer. I remember his name. I remember so much from back then. His name was Brian Boyer. He was a friend of mine in elementary school. And he used to live right around the corner from me, just 2 houses over. Used to hang out with him. Used to hang out with a bunch of my friends, my old neighborhood where I lived at, He had his brother, his little brother. He must have been 2-3 years younger than him. His name was Kenny. But his mom gave him the nickname Peeper. Everybody called him Peeper. I never understood it, I forgot the whole story behind it, but I know his mom used to say, that's Mommy's little Peeper. He used to call him Peeper. He had this weird head bobbing thing going on and all, but he was young. He was younger than us. We were all in elementary school. Let me tell you, little Peeper, he used to play with girl toys. He used to have the Barbie... The Barbie house out in the front porch. He had the little girl's kitchenette set out there and shit. He had Barbie dolls and stuff and all that. You know what? You know, where's he at now? Last I knew, or last I saw on Facebook, I found him. I forgot how I found him. He's married to a woman. So yeah, as a boy, you know, he was just experimenting. I guess, you know, his mom said, you know, this is what he was into. If he was into playing with girls' toys, that's what he wanted to do. You know, that was a normal thing back in the day. You know. So it's like, you want to play a girl toys, you know. But you know, once you get to that certain age where you start changing, you start feeling different, then yeah, you start discovering yourself. Are you gay? Are you straight? Are you into girl shit? Are you into guy shit? Whatever. It should be up to you. It shouldn't be up to a government or a school system to tell you how you should feel and what you should do. Yeah, there's been some arch Easters before 2005, 2008. Okay, there has been. Okay, I just can't remember much. I can't really remember. As far as I know, Easter's usually in April, but they're all spread out, I guess. They're all spread out. That's true. So I'm going to take another break, guys. Got another article coming up here soon for you guys to hear me rant about. And this is going to be a doozy. It's going to prove a point that I talked about Friday on URC. So stick around. Catch you back in here in a minute.
The waters of the lake at Dunlow run so pure, deep, and cool. Legend says, just dangling your feet in it keeps you feeling fresh and clean for the rest of your days. There's a bit of this in every bar of Irish Spring. The lasting, fresh scent of Irish Spring deodorant soap. The Irish never quit.
So you just marched into the store? Oh, I didn't march. I strolled. And you just what? Well, did it? No. I stood there looking at it for a while. Yeah? And I thought, you can do this. And you are going to do this. Aren't you? So I did. That's not like you, Ellen. I know.
When you really want to treat yourself, nothing makes you feel as good as gold.
This 20-inch TV is a good deal.
It's a great deal because it has RCA color, stereo sound, channel lock remote. Buy it, you won't be sorry.
Told you it was a terrific deal.
Well, did the doctor say you need surgery?
No, he said my hemorrhoids aren't that serious. And to use Preparation H.
You can often relieve pain and itch for hours and help shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues with Preparation H in ointment and suppositories.
What do we want? What do we talk? Where can we walk in? Every Wednesday night is world premiere movie night on Wednesday night is world premiere movie night on USA. On USA.
Gino.
And welcome back to the show, you guys. If you guys are just now tuning in, this is Tuned In Live. You guys are watching this live on twitch.tv/ArrowENT, kick.com/ArrowEntertainment, and our YouTube channel, Arrow Entertainment. Hit that like, subscribe button down below if you guys have yet to do so. If you guys are on Discord, you want to join us on Discord for updates and much, much more, link is down below for that, as well as our social media. We are on Twitter if you guys want to follow that. Also, our sponsor today is W.GG, W Energy Blend. If you guys want to learn more about it, if you guys want to purchase any of their products, link is down below for that. Make sure you use promo code ARROWWAN if you want to make any purchases. Also, if you want to visit our merch store and buy something down there, feel free to do so. Be sure to use promo code ARROWENT. You will save 15% on any merchandise you buy. So, Friday, URC. Tom and I had a topic already picked out, but we had something come up that abruptly come up last Tuesday morning, if you guys remember. So last Tuesday morning, the Dolly container ship was leaving the Baltimore port. How do I say this? It crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. and the bridge collapsed into the Baltimore port, the port, the inner harbor area. Collapsed, blocking off the Baltimore port, blocking off all business coming in and going out of the port, costing the port millions of dollars a day, costing the East Coast in a lot of areas millions of dollars in merchandise as long as that port is closed. So there's a lot of contributors to that ship, okay? One being, and I'm going to get this out of the way with so you guys know this ahead of time, the Dolly container ship had another incident like this back in 2008. Back in 2008. Now, let me see if I can find that again. And I got to go through a shit ton of tags and pictures and stuff just to find it. Where in the hell is it? It's like a week's worth of posts on Discord and shit. God damn, posted a lot of stuff, didn't I? Holy fuck. But I am getting there, guys. I am getting there. Here we go. The Dolly, okay, it wasn't 2008. I'm sorry, it wasn't 2008. It was 8 years ago. So it was 2016. I'm sorry, I got the dates. I had the years wrong. The Dolly ship collided with the Baltimore Bridge, had previously crashed 8 years ago in Antwerp port. Yeah, let's see. 8 years. Let's see. The ship that caused the Baltimore collapse was involved in a crash before it had been revealed. The container ship that hit the bridge has been identified as the Singapore flagship, the Dolly, and was heading toward Colombo and Sri Lanka at the time of its collision. In 2016, it collided with a dock at the port of Antwerp while leaving its port. It has been reported that the incident was caused by a mistake of the master and pilot on board, according to Vessel Finder. So this shit has happened before with the same ship. Same shit. Different port, you know? So when you look at the video, and mind you, I had shared this video on Facebook, right? The whole video, not just a segment where you see the ship hitting the pillar of the bridge and it collapsing, right? This was the video where the ship had just left the dock and it was coming out. Now, they first stated that there were supposedly some electrical issues with the ship before it left port. And I'm sitting there like, why the hell did it leave the port to begin with? Why did it leave the port? If it was having these issues, they should have just dropped the anchor, stopped, investigated it before it went out. No, they let it set sail. What happened when it went straight from the port? Power went out. Now, when you watch the video, okay, this ship was going in a straight direction. A straight direction. Now, I just wonder if I can actually pull up here. I want to see if I can find that video for you guys, okay? Let me go, not Yahoo, YouTube, okay. Okay. Let's see. Key Bridge Baltimore falling video. Now, this is a sped up version. Progressive. And of course, I gotta wait for an ad. Because why not? Okay. I hate 15-second ads, you know? They fucking force that shit on you, you know? They fucking force it on you. So, let me go ahead and let me full screen that. Do I got a screen capture here somewhere? Yes, there we go. Watch this video, guys. Okay? Well, first, let me turn off closed caption. Alright, right there, this is already collided. It's already collided with the bridge. That's the video everybody's seen. But there's more to it. And of course, you see it again right here. You know, it's right there. It's just hitting it. But you got these videos here. They're not showing the whole thing. There is a video, and I'm trying to find it, unless they took it down, because they've been taking shit down lately. They've been taking shit down lately. I don't understand why. Oh, don't tell me this is another goddamn ad. Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna find another one. Alright, there's some of these videos, they have forced ads on there that you cannot fucking... Yeah, that was a minute-long ad, too. So I'm trying to find the video, the actual video of it. Do I gotta share it on Facebook, I wonder? Okay, same type with me, guys. Because they flagged the video on my Facebook page as, you know, they fact-checked it. That's what they call it. They fact-checked it. I'm like, you're going to fact-check a video that I shared that many other people have shared on this platform? You're going to fact-check it? Like, the fucking ship collided with this motherfucker. That's what happened. So let's see. Oh, here we go. I found it, guys. It is on my page. They just silenced the, whatchamacallit. So I'm going to try to full screen it. There we go. Now watch this, guys. This is when it left out the port. It's going straight. Now, it was going to probably collide with something. Or it was going to go straight through. Now you see there's the power loss right there. Power went out. Backup generator should have kicked on by then, right? Kicks on right now. Notice how the ship is making a hard right turn. Directly into the pillar. And then the power cut out again. And then come back on. And then now it's too late. Now it's going to hit the pillar. There went the bridge. Watch it again, guys. Just watch again, okay? It is coming out through port. When it lost its power, it could have gone in between here. Or it could have hit that port right there. It could have hit that pillar. They had enough room right here. No, what they did, as soon as the power came back on, they steered it. It steered right in the fucking direction of the pillar. Tell me there is not some shit up with that. This is the video that they want taken down off of social media. That's why you see these videos that are on there right now. The videos that are on there right now? Yeah, retarded ads, yeah, I know. Yeah, is it true that they knew the ship had electrical... Well, I don't know if they knew about it. That's the thing, Hoyt. I don't know if they knew anything about it. But you see, like, when the ship came out and then the power came back on. Now, I understand when you lose power to the ship, when something goes wrong, you lose control of steering. So how was the fucking ship steering itself in the direction of this pillar? If it was steering itself, it would have went further inward to a fucking steer, you know? But there was something odd about this. They steered this ship on purpose in the direction of that pillar. And that whole bridge just came crumbling down the way it did. It just came down. That was a sad event. There is something very wrong there. And then you know the following day, you got all these retard assholes on the radio and online. They're like, oh, well, everybody's making these observations. They all think they're ship engineers and they know how the ship works and this and this and that. I don't give a fuck how a ship works. I know I'm not an engineer, but I do know something was afloat. And there's something wrong with how that ship was going. Everybody saw it. That's the video they want taken down. They don't want that video up anymore. And Baltimore's corrupt mayor, Brandon Scott or whatever his fucking name is, he's one of the ones that went to CNN and said that he wants that video pulled because it's very traumatizing. You see people falling into the water and shit. You see it. Like, I don't see shit. I didn't really see any cars drop. All I saw was a fucking bridge drop. That's all I saw. Yeah, it does definitely seem suspicious. Yes, it is. So it's like, you got a corrupt Baltimore mayor who's telling CNN, he's telling all these media outlets, take the video down. It's traumatizing. I don't want to hurt people's feelings and make people cry and da 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 da. Let me tell you something. 9/11. Everybody was forced to watch as people were jumping from that building as it was on fire. People watched these planes go into these two buildings. Did anybody tell the media to pull the footage because it was too hard for people to watch? No. How about the aftermath of the school shootings or any mass shooting at all? Were these videos pulled from the media? No. Yes, it's traumatizing, it's sad, but what makes this event so much more different? How about the fact that the evidence is right there, that something was wrong with this ship? They deliberately went into that pillar and took that bridge out. Anybody could turn the fucking power onto the ship and turn it off. All you gotta do is hit the master switch and then turn it back on. That people had more balls 23 years ago. Yeah, they did. Let me tell you something. It doesn't take too long for a backup generator to kick on. And that first time around, it took it a good while, didn't it? Oh yes, it took that generator a good while to kick in. But not the second or the third time around. Oh no. In fact, let me go back and find that video again. I want you guys to take a look at when the power goes out and when the power comes back on. Because I shit you not, that is exactly what happened. Okay, so you guys watch. Here's it coming out of the port. The first time it loses power. Mind you, this video is sped up, and it's not in real time. This video is sped up. So the power loss happened right here, okay? Right about now, the generator should have kicked on. It's not going to kick all the lights on, it's going to kick on some of the lights. Recovered right there, right? So I would say at the speed that this ship is traveling, which is probably at, I don't know, 10, 15 knots or whatever the fuck they call it, you know, but that had to have been a good, 30 seconds. Usually backup generators kick on within like the first 10, 15 seconds. So the lights came on, right? Backup generator, everything's coming back on. And they were talking about thick smoke. They said the ship was on fire or something. They said there was smoke coming out of there. Well, I'm sure there was. They probably fucking burning coal in that motherfucker or something. Who the hell knows? But then the power goes out. They started steering the fucking ship as the power came back on. And the power went out. But hold up. What are these lights here? What are these lights here? Hold on. Hold on. What are these lights here, guys? The entire ship didn't go out. But let's look at the power out for... Okay, see? All the lights right here. All the lights are out. Not a single light is on. Not a single light is lit in the first power outage. They steered the ship. Power goes out again, right? What are these lights? What are these lights? You experience a power loss, and if the backup generator went out again, How are there still lights on? Then it recovers again, right? Recovers again for about what? I don't know. 30 seconds? No, that was it. They figured they had already done the damage. They already steered right into it. They now got the lights back on. And that's all she wrote. So you guys tell me that that shit is not planned. Somebody tell me that shit was not planned at all. They deliberately hit that bridge. They did that shit on purpose. There's different factors right there in that video. All the proof is right there, people. All the fucking proof is right there. That shows that this was a deliberate act. Was it a terrorist attack? No. I've already stated that on URC Friday when our old buddy Mike, he was telling me that he thought it seemed like a terrorist attack. No, it's not a terrorist attack. This shit was deliberately planned. Whereas there were two other bridges that were affected, apparently, one in Ohio and one in Delaware. All on the same day, people. All on the same fucking day. So then this comes out 2 days ago, March 30th. This ship or boat, the barge, strikes the bridge in Oklahoma, shutting down the highway days after the Key Bridge disaster. So there's bridge number 4. The Oklahoma State Patrol said Saturday that it closed the highway south of Sallisaw after a barge struck a bridge over the Arkansas River. Troopers closed South U.S. Highway 59 at 1:25 p.m. after receiving word of an incident and diverted traffic from the area. The bridge, which crosses the Arkansas River where it enters the Robert S. Kerr Reservoir, will remain closed until it can be inspected. There were no reports of injuries on the highway or the barge. Funny, though, the picture I'm looking at, it didn't even take the fucking pillar out, it just grazed it. It's got some damage to it, but it's not going to collapse the bridge. It was not immediately known what the cause of the barge that hit the bridge. The news came as engineers worked Saturday to lift a section of a twisted steel from the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland after it crumbled into the Patapsco River as the massive cargo ship crashed into one of its main supports. So this seems to be a trend going on. There's a trend going on. You know, Maryland is really affected, along with several other states right now, because they're not going to get cargo in, they're not going to get cargo out. This costing this, basically, most of the East Coast, millions of dollars and shit. This was a deliberate act. And then days later, a ship hits a fucking bridge in Oklahoma? So what bridge is next to be affected? What bridge is next to be hit? There will also be a small I-95 overpass in Philly that collapsed last June. Yeah, that was last June. I think I heard about that. Yeah, because I-95 runs from Maine all the way down to Florida. That's the longest interstate in the country, if anybody doesn't know anything about that. So that's something you do learn in school. You know, when you're studying geography, is the I-95 corridor. That's the longest interstate because it runs down through here too. You know, I-95 runs through Maryland too. You know, I use it once in a blue moon myself. But yeah, I-95 runs all the way from Maine all the way down to Florida. So if you want to travel to anywhere down in these states, you can use I-95 to go. But then there's also some parts of I-95 where they're supposedly doing some construction still, which causes a big traffic jam. But yeah, it's very sudden and very coincidental that all this is happening. Now, the Francis Scott Key Bridge had just celebrated, or was getting ready to celebrate its 74th, I think, Or no, not 74, 47th. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying. I got the numbers mixed up. It's 47th anniversary since its opening in 1977. 47 years. And you got all these pages on social media sharing pictures of the Key Bridge, you know, when it opened and this and that. And then suddenly a ship collides into it, takes it out completely. Fucks traffic up for everybody in the state of Maryland right now. Luckily, I work overnights because where I work at, I literally work 4 miles from the Key Bridge. I'm literally 4 miles from the Key Bridge into Dundalk. Where I work on Dundalk Avenue. If I want to take the Key Bridge home, I just drive all the way down Dundalk Avenue, get off on a couple winding roads, and then get on 695 and then take the Key Bridge. I actually took the Key Bridge home one morning. It was back in January. That was the last time I was going over the Key Bridge myself. But yeah, I'm literally 4 miles from the bridge where I work at. Same thing at home. I live and work from there, 4 miles away from it, you know? So yeah, I'm relatively close to the Key Bridge. Actually, if I were to go out right now and I drive down into the Curtis Bay area, which is a real shithole, I tell you, Curtis Bay. Look up Curtis Bay, Maryland, guys. Curtis Bay is a real fucking shithole. But if I drive straight down into Curtis Bay, I'm only like, I don't know, not even 5 minutes away from it. You can literally look over yonder, you know, through the river right there, the Patapsco River, and you can see all that shit. You can definitely see it. Actually, down there in the Patapsco River, oh my gosh, so there is a strip club down there called Fantasies. It's down there. It's on Pennington Avenue in Curtis Bay. I've never been there, but I've heard so much about it. Fantasies Strip Club. It's down there. And let me tell you something. I've driven by that place countless times. I've driven by that place countless times, and I tell you what, that bay, that area right there across from it, oh, it fucking reeks of fish, man. It fucking reeks of fish. I don't know if you're smelling fish or if you're smelling fish. But yeah, you're driving near a fucking strip joint and you smell fish. Oh, I don't think you want to go see them women that night. Good old Maryland, guys. I can write a fucking book about this for you guys. You know, you would definitely get a kick out of anything in Maryland. Yeah, I-95 is the longest north-south one. Yeah, I-90 is the longest east. Yeah, that's right. I-90 is the east-west. You know, that is interesting with the way interstates run. Like, I remember learning in geography where they say, like, anything that's an odd number, it goes north and south. And anything with an even number is, like, east and west. It's like, that was one thing I always forgot at one point, but I'm like, you know, what is it? There were certain interstates that run north and south. There's so many of them throughout the country, and they're all the odd numbers. Odd numbers go from north to south, and the even numbers go from east to west. That's what it was. And those are for like the main interstates and shit. That was something interesting. So let's see. We got Caitlyn Jenner and all that. We got the transgender bullshit out of the way with. Real quick, I'm going to read this one for y'all. I find this absolutely hilarious. Does anybody know of or heard of this quote-unquote singer named Lizzo? This heavy-set black singer who wants to be so fucking popular and shit. The closest one to you is I-80. Yeah, I know of I-80. Yeah, I know about that. But yeah, anybody know of Lizzo? 4-time Grammy-winning musician Lizzo. I never heard of this dumb bitch's music. I never listened to her fucking music. I don't give a fuck about this person. Lizzo. Try to be something big out there, right? Well, Lizzo has took to Instagram on Friday to announce that she is getting out of the music industry. The body positivity artist claimed that she is tired of being criticized. Somebody is not thick-skinned in the music industry. Like, how many people in the music industry, or even who's an actor or whatever, you know, any celebrity? There's a lot of celebrities that get criticized over how they look or who they are. Do a lot of them give a shit? No, especially a lot of them actually fire back at people who criticize them. I criticize some of them as being pieces of shit because, well, certain ones, if you endorse Joe Biden or Obama, then I look at you as a piece of shit. If you're somebody who's told America death to Trump and wanted to shoot Trump and shit like that, oh, you're a piece of shit to me. One of them was Robert De Niro, and that's sad because Robert De Niro has some good fucking movies. He's an amazing actor, and I fucking boycotted him for what he said about Trump a few years ago, and the motherfucker endorses Biden. So I'm like, nah, you're a piece of fucking dog shit. Go to hell. I fucking laughed at the time in that movie Joker where Joaquin Phoenix, who plays Joker, when he shot you in the goddamn face, man. That's the only time I laugh at that, you know, when something happened to Robert De Niro. Because that's how I feel, you know, about that shit. Yeah, that's most of Hollywood. Oh, I know. There are some Hollywood actors that are against that shit, you know, like Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg. Oh, they're not part of that fucking trend. You know, they don't give two shits about Biden or anything like that. So I do respect actors like that. But it's not all of Hollywood. It's just most of Hollywood. But you do got some actors out there that are normal, you know. But Lizzo, she told him that she was quitting the music industry because she got tired of being criticized. She wrote, "I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. All I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little bit better than how I found it." Oh, boo, fucking who? Tim Allen is more conservative? Yeah, Tim Allen and Roseanne Barr, they are, definitely. But you guys see this? This was her Instagram posting. "I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. All I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little bit better than how I found it, but I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views, being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look. My character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespected my name. I didn't sign up for this shit. I quit." Wow. Oh, for somebody who I only vaguely heard of, I don't know what music this person has written, but I look at this, I'm like, when you get into show business or you get into doing something that brings you some kind of popularity, you're going to receive hate and criticism no matter what you do or who you are. I tell people that all the time. Yeah, boo-hoo, Lizzo, your music won't be missed. Neither will she. Neither will she. Like, take a look at the YouTube, for example. How many people, Hoyt, do we know, or have we known since 2016, have pulled the same shit? One of them was Hubbard. This is a female Hubbard. This is a female Hubbard. Who's going to sit there and, "Oh, boo-hoo, people are criticizing me for who I am and what I look like. All I want to do is do this and do that, but nobody wants me around, so I quit." That's what this reminds me of. Like, this is somebody who should have a lot more respect for the kind of shit that she does, the industry and all. Like, how many people are criticized and they take the shit? You know, they just take it and swallow it with pride. But not this woman. Oh, fuck no. She expects to be the next John Lennon, you know? "He got the whole world in my hands." And then somebody's like, "Yeah, they got it in your ass and your belly and everything else." That's all it is. That's exactly what it is. This person's like, I'm trying to make a difference. I wanted to bring peace. All I wanted to do was do a little bit of music. Oh my God. Has she not? She must have taken lessons from Wings of Redemption. So you don't harass my family. You can troll my ass all you want. I swear, this bitch must have gotten life lessons from somebody like Wings of Redemption on fucking YouTube, man. Like, she can't fucking take the heat. Maybe she should stay out of the fucking kitchen. Literally and figuratively, you know? God damn. It appears the musician only wanted to be praised for the content she produced, perceiving that she was above criticism. While there was a slew of support for the plus-size artist online, the musician's post came just a single day after the lawyer for 3 of Lizzo's ex-dancers who have sued her for sexual harassment. I remember that. That was months ago. Y'all remember that? There was 3 of her dancers that came out and said that, you know, that they were going to sue her for sexual harassment. That kind of backfired on them. Said that it was shameful Joe Biden allowed this artist to perform at his $25 million Radio City fundraiser on Thursday. Yes, that is shameful. Biden. In August 2023, Lizzo was sued by 3 of her ex-dancers, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez, who have accused the musician of sexual harassment as well as creating a hostile work environment. The New York Post reported that Oscar-nominated director Sophia Allison added that she walked away from a Lizzo documentary in 2019 because I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant and unkind she was. However, Lizzo has denied all the allegations alleged against her, saying that they are all false and unbelievable. Yeah, bitch only had one okay song. I ain't heard anything from her. I haven't heard anything from her. But after reading this and shit, you know, and then, you know, Lizzo's coming out and like, oh, they're all false and unbelievable. Don't believe them. Don't believe them. Okay, if they're unbelievable, why are you quitting the music industry? Why are you putting out a statement saying everybody's basically bullying you and you can't fucking dish it? You can't fucking take it. There's a lot more going on behind this than some stupid crybaby bitch who's like, oh, I thought I could make a change, but nobody wants me to, so I'm gonna be a bitch and back out. Boo hoo hoo. Oh, there's much more to it than this. I guarantee you she's probably being forced to quit for some reason, you know, and she's just making up some crybaby story. These last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually, I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and are too outrageous to be addressed. So, if you choose not to respond to them, why the fuck are you sitting there telling people I quit because of it? It makes no fucking sense. They bullying my fat ass case, sir. Yeah, that's what it is. So this woman is saying, literally, guys, she is saying that usually she chooses not to respond to false allegations, but when more of this shit comes down on her, just continue. Don't address them. Ignore them. Continue what you are fucking doing. You don't fucking sit there and say, oh, they call me fat, I quit. Just take it. People are going to call you fat. People call me fat. You know what I say? Hey, yes, I know I'm fucking fat. Does it hurt my feelings? No. I know I'm fat. I know I'm a big motherfucker. Do I really fucking give a shit what people say about me? Fuck no. I make fun of other fat people. I'm fat myself, you know? It's like, you gotta learn to take the fucking criticism where it's given. You gotta learn to take the shit. You gotta know when to be thick-skinned. You gotta know how to take it. Apparently, this woman doesn't know how to take it. These sensationalization stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. As an artist, I have always been passionate about what I do. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. So, you still got your fans, right, Lizzo? You still got your fan base. Your fans ain't going to turn on you unless you do something completely idiotic and stupid. But when you sit here and say that you're quitting because you got Billy and Jim Bob and Billy Joel and Jim Marina and so many others over here saying, hey, fat ass! Hey, fat ass! They call me fat, I quit! Oh my god, that is so fucking elementary school behavior. I don't even know how old this. Oh my god, let me look this bitch up. Holy shit, let me look her up. Oh my god, who the fuck? How old is this dumb skank? Oh, she would hate me. Skank, born in 1980, 35. Oh yeah, okay. She's younger than me, 35 years old, born in 88. God damn, she ugly as fuck, though. If you put out good music, and you got a fan base, hooray for you, Melissa Jefferson. That's her name, Melissa Jefferson. Goes by the stage name Lizzo. Okay, how long has she been in the fucking music industry? Like, I don't know. I know nothing about this woman. Like, she only came under my fucking radar, within the last year? And people were talking, the only reason she came under my radar is when they were talking about the allegations against her. That was it. Artistry. Lizzo's music primarily incorporates hip-hop, and she is also infused with other genres such as soul, R&B, and funk pop. Lizzo's influences include Missy Elliott, Lauryn Hill, and Beyonce. Primarily a rapper, I call it Lizard. Lizzo incorporated singing into her debut record. She stated in an interview in 2018, I was always afraid of being a singer, but then when I heard Lauryn Hill, I was like, maybe I could do both, adding that her debut album was inspired by the miseducation of Lauryn Hill and Hill's rapping, singing, being political. She has also cited Diana Ross as a fashion reference. Okay, she has all this under her belt. Okay, so she has four albums. And I'm just now hearing about her. I thought she was brand spanking new. I didn't know who the fuck Lizzo was, but she's been around. Okay, her first album came out in 2013. She had guest appearances of herself. All right, what movies was she in? Oh, she was in that fucking movie Hustlers. I never seen that. Still don't want to fucking see that shit. I mean, I know J-Lo is hot as fuck, but yeah, I'm not gonna fucking see that shit. So, I'm now hearing about all this extra shit about her and all, right? But now I'm like, who the fuck really cares though? Like, she's a crybaby bitch. She really is. Crying over the fact that people call her fat, call her this, call her that, and she wants to walk away from it. Maybe next week after she quits, she'll come back and make another record. You know, just like Hubbard. You know, remember when Hubbard would quit? Hubbard would quit for like fucking 8-9 hours and make another goddamn video or another channel and shit. You know, that's all it is. I call it the Hubbard effect. One of my cousins showed me one of her music videos in 2019. Fucking hated it. I bet. I bet. I don't want to watch that garbage. I don't. But you know what? Like somebody like that, it just boggles my fucking mind, man. It really does. Like if you are so sensitized by what other people tell you or say about you, that maybe you should just fucking retire and get it over with and just leave that as your legacy, that you were in some movies and TV shows and you have 4 albums. Just leave it as a legacy. You know, just retire. You know, take the money, retire, get a job somewhere, marry somebody who will accept your ass, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna fat shame her myself. I'm into fucking big women myself, you know? That's my preference, you know? Big women. Everybody has a fucking preference, you know? I mean, shit, will I call her fat? I won't call her fat. I'm fucking fat, you know? I'm not calling her fat to be fucking mean. You know, I'm not gonna fucking sit there and tease her for being fat. I'm fucking fat, you know? Yeah, there are some fucking people out there that will hurt your feelings, but you know what? This is an example of somebody who's a celebrity and who's not thick-skinned and who does not do well with constructive criticism. And that's all that is. You know, I think it's all for attention. That's all that is. So let's get into one last article here before we close up shop for tonight, guys. Now, coming up next week, guys. Mark it on your calendar. Next Monday. If you guys are living under a rock, you probably want to stay under that rock and stay asleep, guys, because next Monday, the Niagara Falls, and this is going to be all over because this is happening to most of this country. Niagara Falls declares a state of emergency ahead of the April 8th total eclipse, as 1 million are expected. That's right. Next Monday, the total eclipse is expected to happen. People are going ape shit over this, guys. I already read that one. People are going ape shit over the fact that an eclipse is happening. An eclipse is happening. And they're like, what the fuck? What do we do? How do we prepare for this? Can we look at the sun? Can we look at the sun? Like, no, they make special glasses for that shit. So this is coming from the Niagara Falls in Canada. Has declared a state of emergency ahead of April 8th total eclipse as 1 million people are expected to flood the area to see it. The Ontario side of the falls has started to prepare for the expected influx of visitors coming to see the total eclipse in early April. The famous falls has been listed by National Geographic as one of the best places to see the eclipse, a phenomenon not seen since 1979. The city is within the path of the moon. The city is within the path where the moon will entirely block the sun for a few minutes. Now, eclipses usually last anywhere from several minutes to up to a couple hours, depending on how fast the moon seems to revolve around the Earth. Yeah, because that's all the eclipse is. It's when the moon is in the right trajectory path of the sun, and it blocks it out for several minutes, and depending on the side of the Earth which is facing that, we'll be able to see it. But you don't want to look directly into it, because you know what you're told: when you're looking directly into the sun, you're going to hurt your eyes. So they make these special glasses. They're not like sunglasses, almost sort of, but they block out, I guess, the brightness, and they block out the rays or whatever. But they block out enough to where you can actually see the eclipse. Sadly, I may not see it because I'm going to be asleep for that. I'm going to be asleep for that. I don't know what time the eclipse is expected to happen, but they are expecting, more than millions of people to actually see it. Just like right now, okay, the emergency was declared out of an abundance of caution. Okay, so it must be, for people flooding in to see the motherfucker, But the eclipse is expected to happen next Monday. Throughout the whole country, wherever you live at, you're supposed to be able to see it. I don't know. You're supposed to be able to see the eclipse. It's like straight down the fucking middle of the country in a sense, You're supposed to be able to see it. So hopefully everybody will be able to see it next week if you got your special glasses or whatever to watch it and all. But I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what are these idiots going to sit there and say, oh, well, we're going to lose power, we're going to lose this, we're going to lose that. Yeah, what, for a few minutes? All it is the fucking moon is blocking the sun. That's all the hell it is. But people of today's stature, kids today, all these young motherfuckers in high school that think they got it all made, that they think they know. They're like, oh, there's like 20 fucking genders and shit and this and that, and nobody knows what a woman is. Nobody knows what the fucking feminist is and all that. All these idiots out there, they're the ones that are going to be panicking. They're going to be panicking. They're going, oh my God, the sun's blocked. What do we do? Is the Earth coming to an end? Are we going to blow up? What's going to happen? It's an eclipse. The moon blocks the sun. It happens for minutes. Watch it and shut up. Hopefully you'll fucking go blind from it. Jesus Christ. But yeah, guys, next Monday, make sure you're prepared if you guys want to watch it. The total eclipse is happening in the U.S. You might be able to watch it. Me, I won't be able to see it because, like I said, I work nights. I'll be asleep during the day. So it'll more likely happen when I'm asleep. If not, maybe I'll be able to catch it a little bit and be like, hey, that's cool. Shit, I'll do a video on that or something, you know? Who knows? Other than that, guys, that's all the news for today. We are 2 hours and 1 minute in. We're going to go ahead and end this podcast today. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's episode of Tune In Live. We covered a good bit. Yes, it got a little bit heated there. But other than that, everything's good to go. If you guys are into, let's see, what you got? I got to see the August 2017 eclipse. It was kind of cool, but I'm in PA. I bet it was much cooler to see in South Carolina. Yeah, depending on where you can see it, if you got a good view of it, yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to try to promote this a little bit. If you guys are into that video game, that Battle Royale game, PUBG, or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, we have a 3-hour stream that we did Friday night. It's uploaded on our YouTube channel. If you guys want to go check that out, I'm supposed to gather clips from there to make a compilation. It was a hilarious fucking stream. We had a 4-man crew going on. It was fun. I had a lot of fun with these guys. I always did. I'm going to try to bring back the Chicken Squad series for PUBG. So I'll let you guys know in the future if that's going to be a permanent thing to bring that back. But if you guys missed it, if you want to check that stream out, you want some good laughs, check it out. It's on our channel. It's Chicken Squad, Not So Easter. You guys will love it. We got 2 chicken dinners in that game. It was such a good game. We played. It was phenomenal. So, yeah, have a great week. Yeah, we'll definitely see you later, Hoyt. Thanks for being here, man. Anybody else who joined in today, who listened today, if you guys are just now joining us or if you were listening to us after this is going live, like I said, please hit that like, subscribe button down below if you're watching us on YouTube. Show some love and support. Follow us on twitch.tv/ArrowENT and kick.com/ArrowEntertainment. Today's stream is brought to you by our sponsor, W Energy Drinks. If you guys click that link down below and check out their products, if you guys want to purchase any of their products on their website, use promo code ARROWWAN to save 10% on your purchase. You can also check out our merch store. Link for that is down below. Also, if you want to purchase any merchandise from the group, from the team, whatever, make sure you use promo code ARROWENT and you will save 15% on your purchase down there. If you guys are also on Discord and you want to be on a future episode of Tune In Live or URC or whatever, Discord link is down below. Click that. Join us on Discord, and we'll let you know when we go live, and you guys can be a guest on the show. So, without any further ado, guys, Wednesday there will be a video upload. So, be looking forward to that. Next stream will be Friday. It will be URC. We will be back with URC with Tom on Friday. Hopefully, we can actually get back to our regular scheduled program and talk about martial arts and karate and all that stuff. So that will be our topic for Friday. So hopefully you guys join us for that. And once again, guys, hope you enjoyed today. This is April Fool's Day. Don't let too many things fool you today. And until next time, guys, stay tuned in.
What we do here is go back.